I remember as a boy looking up at the stars, innumerable in the black night, and thinking, where did all of this come from? It seemed to me instinctively that there had to be an explanation why all this exists. As long as I can remember then, I've always believed in a creator of the universe. I just never knew him personally. Only years later did I realize that my boyhood question, as well as its answer, had occupied the minds of the great philosophers for centuries. For example, G.W. Leibniz, co-discoverer of calculus and a towering intellect of 18th century Europe, wrote, "The first question which should rightly be asked is, why is there something rather than nothing? In other words, why does anything at all exist? This, for Leibniz, is the most basic question that anyone can ask." Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz, 1646 to 1716, was a German philosopher, mathematician, and logician. He invented differential and integral calculus at about the same time Sir Isaac Newton did. In fact, he spent the last 5 years of his life defending himself against the accusation that he had stolen Newton's ideas and published them. Today, most historians agree that Leibniz did invent calculus independently. Like me, Leibniz came to the conclusion that the answer is to be found not in the universe of created things, but in God. God exists necessarily and is the explanation why anything exists. Leibniz's argument. We can put Leibniz's thinking into the form of a simple argument. This has the advantage of making his logic very clear and focusing our attention on the crucial steps of his reasoning. It also makes his argument very easy to memorize so that we can share it with others. You'll hear an argument map at the end of this chapter. There are 3 steps or premises in Leibniz's reasoning. 1. Everything that exists has an explanation of its existence. 2. If the universe has an explanation of its existence, that explanation is God. 3. The universe exists. That's it. Now, what follows logically from these premises? Well, think about premises 1 and 3. Say them out loud if that helps. If everything that exists has an explanation of its existence, and the universe exists, then it logically follows that, 4, the universe has an explanation of its existence. Now notice that premise 2 says that if the universe has an explanation of its existence, that explanation is God. And 4 says the universe does have an explanation of its existence. So, from 2 and 4, the conclusion logically follows 5. Therefore, the explanation of the universe's existence is God. Now, this is a logically airtight argument. That is to say, if the 3 premises are true, then the conclusion is unavoidable. It doesn't matter if the atheist or agnostic doesn't like the conclusion. It doesn't matter if he has other objections to God's existence. So long as he grants the premises, he has to accept the conclusion. So, if he wants to reject the conclusion, he has to say that one of the 3 premises is false. But which one will he reject? Premise 3 is undeniable for any sincere seeker after truth. Obviously, the universe exists. So the atheist is going to have to deny either 1 or 2 if he wants to remain an atheist and be rational. So the whole question comes down to this. Are premises 1 and 2 true, or are they false? Well,